Coming to you from the Ultra Staff Studios in Chicago, welcome to the Staffing Buzz Network with your host, Bob Petke.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Staffing Buzz Network. My name is Bob Petke, and I am the Chief Sales Officer here at Automated Business Designs. And in case you don't know, we are a ATS and CRM software solution company for staffing companies, just like most of you that work in those companies that are listening today. And so today is a very special podcast, as we're going to be able to take a moment to spotlight a recent achievement for our very own Automated Business Designs. As many of you know from a recent press release, Automated Business Designs has been awarded a highly coveted Gold Stevie Award for Best Digital Recruitment Solution as it relates to Ultra Staff Edge and the AI Recruiting Suite. So we're so excited to talk about that and celebrate that here. And we wanted to talk a little bit more about the award, what it really means, and how we got here. So, I'm just going to be the host with the most here, but I'm going to go ahead and bring into the call. We're going to introduce one by one. I'm going to bring in Naupad Doshi, who is our Director of Development.
Hey, everyone.
And then we've got Terri Roeslmeier, our President and CEO. And then Jennifer Roeslmeier, our Senior Digital Marketing and Brands Manager. Let's all wave at the same time, everybody, and say hi.
Hi.
Hi. So again, really just a nice opportunity. We do these podcasts really to showcase some of the different things that are going on in the staffing world. We've had different people as far as congressmen on that sit in DC. We've had some folks that are featured on Bloomberg, Fox Business, the ASA chair. And that's great. And we love to share those types of people and input on here. But really today is it's a chance for us to kind of showcase who we are as an organization, and more specifically, this Stevie Award. So we're going to dive right into it. And Jennifer, hello again.
Hello.
Hi, I'm going to direct this question to you as we get right into it here. So, we've won this award. It's the Stevie Award. It's a gold award. Tell me about the award and the Stevie Award programs, in general.
Yeah, so the Stevie Awards has been around since 2002. And it's actually a global awards program. They have 9 different programs in total. And so the one that we were actually nominated for is the Stevie Awards for Great Employers, which is like an HR-related awards program. And as Bob, you mentioned, we were honored with a Gold Stevie Award for Best Digital Recruitment Solution for our AI Recruiting Suite. So it was very exciting. The tools that were nominated was our AI Job Description Creator, our Resume Builder, and our AI-powered Work Now invites. So it's exciting to be nominated and recognized by this global awards program.
Yeah, and global is the right word, right? Highly coveted, very competitive. And, this is not our first time to the Stevie dance. As I'm looking behind you, I could see some awards, and I would imagine some of those might even be on some other Stevies that we've won. This one's really kind of specific based on the category that we've won. But, talking about it, from a competitive level, on the World Showcase, because it truly is, what does the competition, Jennifer, what does the competition look like for this?
So I know for this awards program, they had over 1,000 nominations in 35 nations. So really companies from around the world are applying, and you have both large companies, well-known companies, to small to medium size. So I saw attending next week's award ceremonies like companies like IBM, Cisco, Capital One, SD Lauder. So some really large companies are going to be there. So it makes the award even more meaningful when you're competing against these larger companies and on a global scale too. So it's really meaningful.
Okay. So, in order to qualify for an award like this, again, competition at an all-time high, around the world, around the globe, international, what does the judging process look like for something like this?
So I know they had over 100 business professionals judging. So there are kind of people like us, and around the world. Again, people are across in the U.S. and outside the country judging. And what's actually kind of neat is after we receive the award, we can actually see all the judges' feedback and what they thought of the tools and the nomination. So it's kind of neat to kind of see from the judges themselves, what they think of the AI tools. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see all the judges from around the world.
No, that's great. And so I know that you'd mentioned it's next week, and all depending on when this podcast comes to release, maybe it's gonna be right around that same time. I know you and Terri Roeslmeier are going to go to New York for the award ceremony next week, right? So tell me about the ceremony and what you are expecting.
Yeah, so it's next Tuesday, September 16th. We're going to have a cocktail reception, a little red carpet to begin, and then we'll have dinner and then the awards program. So each company is called on stage. We'll give an acceptance speech, and it's too neat because people from around the world, again, fly in for the awards program. So it's really cool to meet, people that fly in and to hear what other companies are being recognized for. So it's a great opportunity to meet people. And it will be streaming live as well. So if you're, bored and interested in tuning in, you could type in the Stevie Awards for Great Employers and find the live stream. So it'll be Tuesday, September 16th.
So anywhere on the planet Earth, that is, where you can go ahead and have internet access, you can tune in and watch. And again, both you and Terri will be on stage to accept it on behalf of Automated Business Designs. And, what I'm going to do, since we're talking a little bit about AI, is I'm going to go ahead and transition over, and I'm going to direct this over to Naupad. Naupad, let's talk a little bit more about Ultra Staff Edge and some of the AI tools that we have. Specifically, we've got the job description creator, the resume builder. Talk to us about some of these things that are actually in the market and people are using right now as we speak.
Sure. Thanks for having us for the podcast today, Bob. It's fun. I'm so glad to join the podcast today. So yes, we have few tools like Jennifer indicated, the Ultra Staff Edge job description builder and the resume builder. The job description builder is basically a tool that allows recruiters to go into Edge to select certain job parameters like job position, skills, job location, what kind of degree the job is looking for. So you have few parameters that you can choose within Ultra Staff Edge. And with simple click of a button, we call OpenAI's ChatGPT program, and it gives you a perfectly crafted job description that suits your needs. We also allow through the tool, either the user can use a system default prompt. As we all know now that AI is not a buzzword anymore. Everybody is using AI in one way or the other. So it's either the user can give their own prompt, so they can set the tone of the job description. They can indicate that these are the bullet points that I would like to be added to the job description. I want to include requirements, skills, any specific job location requirements that you want to indicate in there. So you feed AI with whatever information you want, and it can return you a perfectly crafted job description, HTML formatted, so looks nice on every single device. Yeah. Same thing with Resume Builder. So we have all of the information regarding candidate within our ATS, Ultra Staff Edge. So you have the candidate contact information, candidate skills, tests and certifications, what kind of education, employment history the candidate has. So we basically scattered through all of this information. We feed it to AI engine, and AI can kind of organize all of this information into a nicely formatted resume. It's with one click of a button, and you can have any number of templates. So that's one nice thing about the Resume Builder in Ultra Staff Edge, that you can cater to different industries or different positions, and any number of templates, and you can use those templates with a single button. Have AI to get you the perfectly crafted resume.
I love it when you talk about the perfectly crafted resume. And again, a lot of that depends on what's out there, right? We're really relying a little bit less on the human as far as the margin for error, right? There's going to be a margin for error. And so, when you go out and we're utilizing these sources that are out there through AI and through the ChatGPT and the technology there, some tried and true things that are working here. again, always going to have the human touch in staffing. That's just not going to go away. Let's just make that very clear. I mean, even as you explained the process of what it takes to do that, the initial setups, you get to pick and choose what it is. But then after that, it's basically, it's close to like a set it and forget it technology, kind of going back to the 80s infomercials, set it and forget it with your crock pots and things like that. This is not your crock pot world, everybody. We are living on the cutting edge of technology. And Naupad, I appreciate your input on that. But I'm going to transition over to Terri. And Terri, so talk to us a little bit about what you're seeing, how companies are taking advantage of these tools. Can you talk about the importance of, the generative AI tools, within the staffing world?
It was really about making an impact. And bottom line, whenever we incorporate any type of technology, what we're really trying to do is find ways in order to service our clients and our candidates better. That's really the bottom line with everything. And so what does that mean? That usually means trying to deal with your mundane tasks of your everyday life so that you can spend more people time with your customers and with your candidates and really have a more face-to-face. And so what our clients are trying to achieve by utilizing our AI tools is things that are taking them so long now or taking so much time away from actually dealing with the people that we need to deal with. What they're trying to do is incorporate ways that they can use technology to do those tasks that aren't necessarily front facing. They're the background tasks that everybody has to do, in order to progress. But that's really what AI technology is about. It's getting that done so that you can do the more face-to-face, that you can service people, you can read their needs, and you can plan for the future, because AI is definitely a piece of the future. And so everybody wants to, start utilizing it. Everybody wants to actually take that AI and compound it so that their efforts will be magnified really for service for their customers.
No, well put, Terri. Thanks for that. And again, it is the future. And what do they say? The future is now, right? So we're living in that space and place where that gap between what we think is coming in the future, we are there on a lot of these things. But I'm going to transition back and, Naupad, I want to ask you a question because there's a feature, in the tool, the AI tool, and it's called the Work Now invite. And it's funny that, I have it. I wanted to ask you about this specifically. I'm actually going to be at the Staffing World conference, and I'm going to be doing a little talk on gig work, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about, having some type of technologies that relates to a Work Now. But can you talk to us about what it is and maybe how it works a little bit?
Sure. So that's a wonderful tool. That's a tool especially for our mobile app users. So the UltraStaff Edge Jobs mobile app. So staffing firms who have their candidate using this mobile app, what the staffing firms get to do is they can actually offer job invites using AI power to the candidates right on their mobile device. So with a single click of a button, they can go into Edge. They can create any number of templates by different job position, job skills, job location. So it basically, there are vast number of possibilities where you can create any number of templates. And with a click of a button, you can send out these job offers to your candidates who match that particular job or the criteria that you have defined in there. What candidates can then do on their mobile device is as soon as they receive these offers, they receive a little notification. They can click on that notification, which opens up their mobile app. They can either choose to accept or deny that particular offer, depending on their schedule and depending on if the job fits their model or not. And what then happens is that the response of the candidate gets back into UltraStaff Edge. The recruiter gets notified within UltraStaff Edge as well. And then the entire flow that the recruiter normally goes through on their daily routine with the contract activity, on how the offer gets created, how the responses are tracked, how activity notes are tracked, on what the entire process goes through. Everything is being tracked in this flow. So AI really helps in this particular situation where you want to reach out mass candidates, mass number of people with either a single job order or bulk job orders. So we have two tools. One tool is on a job order where you go into UltraStaff Edge on a job order and you want to send out invites to all the candidates that match that particular job order. Or you have a companion tool which works in the background where you can create templates and set up your own schedule. So you go into Edge, you create a template for all your jobs for a certain position in a certain job location, and the tool, it runs in the background with the schedule that you have defined. So let's say you have a schedule defined that I want to have the tool scan the system for all matching candidates and matching job orders and send out them job offers. It does it for you, so you don't have to do anything. Uses AI, it uses the automatic schedule, it uses your criteria that you have defined, and the candidates receive the offers in real time. So that's the power of AI.
So, in the past, I could think of the world, and I could think of, people that used, our system. A lot of that is activity driven, which requires, I need to click for this, I need to wait for a call, I need to click for that. And so with this technology, through automation, and without any real human interaction or clicking on the most part, right? I mean,
That's
these
correct.
things are just happening behind the scenes now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right,
So,
right. So again, we have two options. One is when you want to go on a particular job order. So you may have a scenario where you only want to send out offers for a certain job order. You
yes.
can still go into that particular job order in Edge, or like you said, you can just have your criteria or your templates defined, have the system do the work for you. You don't even have to click a single button.
I'll tell you what, technology is amazing. And it's nice to be at the forefront and on the cutting edge as an organization that is all over that. No, very exciting. And again, I'm going to have a chance to talk a little bit about that. If people are going to be at the Staffing World, come on by and see my talk. I think we'll have it listed here. I forget what day that is at. Jennifer, do you remember what day that I have that tech talk?
It's Tuesday, October 6th, I believe. Is
Okay.
that Tuesday? The Tuesday of Staffing World at 1:15.
Yeah.
The exhibit hall, stage 1.
Listen, folks, it's not about me today. It's really about celebrating this Golden Stevie Award. But if you want to get a chance to kind of see what that technology looks like in person, by all means, make sure you make your way over to that talk, and then you can even talk to us afterward. But let's get back to topic here real quick. And, Naupad, I'm going to stick with you here. I know this is just the beginning of the AI tools development. Can you tell us what's in the pipeline for Ultra Staff Edge?
Sure. I think so. I'm the person who's going to drop the secret today for all of the new brand new tools that we're going to come
100%.
with AI. So right, I mean, so we already have the job description builder, we got the resume builder, we got the AI Work Now invite. So these are the three major tools that are AI powered, which we already have working today. People can start using it. So as we get a perfectly crafted job description created, we have a perfectly crafted resume created. Next, what do you want? You're already sending out job offers, but you also want a tool where you use the power of AI to score candidates. So we're going to come up with a tool where you use AI to scan through the system, find matching candidates to matching job orders, and score them by relevance, by different criteria. And all of this runs behind the scenes at night. So the recruiters, when they are kind of in the morning, when they are working on their daily routine, they just have the perfectly catered candidates who match a particular job order or multiple job orders. And that's what we call the AI candidate job matching tool. So that's one of the tool that's coming. Next, what we are working on right now is AI-based resume parsing. So we have a resume builder, but we don't have a resume parsing engine that uses AI power. So we all have come across resumes from LinkedIn or from different areas where the format is off, and however you try, the resume parsing engine cannot parse it. You always come across one typical format of a resume, and that's where we want to use the power of AI. So AI can scan an entire resume, be it an image file or whatever format it is. It can scan through the entire resume as a text file, parse the data for you, and it parses everything. It gets your education, your employment history, your skills, what you have, what positions you have had. And on top of that, AI can kind of use all of that information to prepare a nice summary for that candidate. That's part of the introduction of the resume as well. So that's very cool to have AI parse the resume for you. And then down the line, we have some more ideas to use AI to summarize client research and candidate. So you have different information of the client. You want to use AI to get a summary of that client so that you can find matching job orders and matching candidates for that client particularly. Likewise, you want to create a summary or an opportunity for a candidate based on all the information we already have in the system, past employment history of the candidate, and use AI to kind of get that summary ready for you. These are some of the tools that we're going to come with.
Yeah, the thing that sticks out in particular is somebody who lived in that world for such a long time is it's almost like a success probability meter, right? As far as this ranking goes.
That's correct.
Where you get to, again, people are people, and sometimes they're going to show up and sometimes they're not. But if you can take the black and white hardcore data and you can compile that data, and then you can rank it on what is your most successful opportunity based on the job, the skill set, and all of the things in between. Terri had mentioned it earlier about really trying to really assist and be there for the staffing world and community, our clients, those now and those here in the future. I don't know if there's going to be anything, and I know we're right here on these things now, working on these things. That's going to be a game changer in our world. So fantastic stuff. So it's thank you for that input on that. And as we continue to go along here, I'm gonna come back over to really like Terri, Jennifer, maybe even the both of you. The big question that I know many people have right now, and I touched on it a little bit, but I'm gonna rely on you for this. How do you balance AI and the human touch? Because we are in the people business after all, right? Terri, maybe you first. What do you see as far how do we balance that in the world we live in today?
Well, the one thing we have to keep in mind is AI is just another technology, just like every other technology that has come about, machinery, computers back in the day, whatever technology has come out, AI is really no different. It's just a tool that we want to utilize, again, to really increase our service and to increase the way that we do service our businesses. And so I think that in mind, we want to make sure that we're not infringing. We want to utilize tools that are going to aggregate data that we are going to utilize to benefit people rather than not benefit. And then, we always hear about utilizing people, for their best traits. And that's what this is all about as well. It's not about eliminating people. What it's about is really utilizing each person within the organization so that they can shine and bring forth their personality in speaking with candidates and clients. And again, the mechanics can be handled by the technology, whereas the people piece can be handled by, the people.
No, well put. Right. It's that simple. The people we're going to have, it's always going to be a people world. And, Jennifer, you've been part of this in one way, shape, or form, being part of the business for many years and growing up in it. What is your take on the whole, the AI and the human touch? Where do you see the balance? And it might be a lot of the same things that we've heard, but what is your take?
Well, I think kind of what I've heard before, and I like their phrase, it's an enhancement, not a replacement. So, use AI to improve your processes, to increase your time to hire. You can even use it to improve your candidate and client experience. So there's a lot of ways that you can use AI and again, it's a technology tool, not a replacement for that human connection. So use AI to enhance your business processes, but at the same time, don't forget to still, pick up the phone and form those relationships with your candidates and customers. It's still important to get to know them as a person, and have interest in what they do. So I think if you could find that balance, still remember those relationships and then use AI, to improve your processes, I think you're at a really good spot as a staffing agency.
Yeah, it's like having the human touch. You always need that human touch in order to get the relations developed. So, yep.
What's the quote? It's an enhancement, not a replacement.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That might be the
And
quote of the podcast so far, unless somebody else comes up with something. Terry and Naupad, the pressure's on as we start to close our way out here.
Yeah.
where I call AI is more likely a co-pilot or a companion. Where
Okay.
yeah.
All right. See, Jennifer, he's swinging for it. He's trying to see if he's got one for you, but that's awesome. As we kind of start to wrap up here, I've done this on former podcasts or prior podcasts, and I'm really going to direct this towards Terry and Naupad. If you had a crystal ball, if you could kind of see into the future, if you had a DeLorean and you could get there and back 88 miles per hour, flux capacitor, all that stuff, if you know what I'm talking about, great. Where do you see AI headed in staffing?
Well, I think that, like I said, AI is going to be your co-pilot or companion. So it's going to allow you to do what you do best and handle the technology part by AI. Like Terry said, have the mechanics and the technology do their work. But just looking into down the line, what AI could do is there is so much, almost innumerable number of possibilities, like doing prediction on what you think based on past information about a candidate or a job. Do you think this candidate is going to accept a particular job offer or not? That's one of the nicest things that AI can predict for you. So it's almost having AI looking into the crystal ball and predicting future for how the candidates are going to work with. It's going to give the staffing from recruiters an advantage where it wastes less of their time and they can focus more on what they do best. So that's where I think AI would be helpful.
Terry, what's your take with your crystal ball?
Yeah, well, it is clearly one of the biggest technological breakthroughs that we've seen recently. It's huge. It's going to be incorporated in everything. We see it all around us already. We see it in Google. We use Read AI. It kind of takes all of our information and composes it. Everybody has that popping up on their Teams meetings. So it's just going to have an impact on everything. And I think the biggest thing is, how do we use it? We have to figure out how to use it in the best way. You always see these movies of robots taking over the world, and it's not about that. It's about utilizing it the correct way. And so we have to be wise in that. We have to, pick and choose what we're going to work with and how we're going to work with it. And as long as we do that, everybody's going to be fine utilizing it to their advantage. So,
And I also see a world where AI can do interviews for recruiters as well, where there would be candidates who give interview to a bot, and the bot can kind of summarize, like Terry indicated, with Read AI. With Read AI, obviously there is an AI that runs in the background where humans talk, but that could be a possibility down the line as well, where there are AI chatbots who would actually run interview with candidates and then prepare a nice summary after the interview, and you have all the notes at your hand. So that's something definitely down the line in future.
Yeah, and Sense already has a tool where you can call in and interview, and it'll ask you all these questions and anticipate what you're going to say. So we're seeing it all over.
You're right, and we have that technology with that integration too. Terry, you know what? You're our CEO and our president. Any final words as we celebrate not only this Golden Stevie Award, but as we get ready for the season of the staffing shows and maybe even seeing some of our clients out there? Any parting words at all?
Well, we're looking forward to seeing everyone at Staffing World, showing them some of our new tools. Of course, if you can't make it to Staffing World, give us a call. We're happy to give you a separate session, so that you can utilize. And of course, we do have regular webinars on all of our tools, so everybody should take advantage of those, so that you know what we have available. Whether or not you choose to use it now or in the future, at least you know what you have or you have available to yourself. But we're very excited. We want to have fun with this technology. We are having fun with this technology. Naupad's our master wizard here, who thinks of a lot of the things that we come up with. And we do have strategy sessions every week. Every week we're talking about these. Every day we're walking in a hall, because we do come into the office and sometimes to collaborate. So, very excited about everything. Very excited about being at the Stevie Awards. As Jennifer mentioned, we meet a lot of really, really interesting people there, and also capture ideas. And Naupad's going to an AI conference, a Microsoft conference. He's going to meet people there, take advantage of some of the sessions that they have, because we want to learn as much as possible on how we can incorporate this into our product.
Great. Well, Terri, I'm going to give you the final word. That's the final word. We'll leave it there. You know what? I'm going to raise my Staffing Buzz Network ABD Orange Blue Cup and cheers on the Golden Stevie Award, and looking forward to watching you guys on stage next week in New York. So with that said, thanks, guys, for being here. Okay, great. What a tremendous victory. What a tremendous win. And we can celebrate the wins, and it's not necessarily all about the trophies, although well deserved and earned. Just another testimony to the organization that Automated Business Designs has been going on its 43rd year. So would love to celebrate that, and really just a humble and good opportunity for me to be part of that and celebrate that as the host of the Staffing Buzz Network. With that said, I want to remind you, first of all, I want to thank you for tuning into this session. And I want to remind you that if you're listening to this for the first time and you haven't, hit the subscribe button on the platform that you're either listening to and or watching us. If you've got people in the staffing community, invite them to go ahead and join us on their favorite staffing or their favorite podcast platform as well. And also, we talked a lot today about some of the technology that we have. And really, you're going to have an opportunity, if you'd like to learn more about where we are, by just reaching out to me directly. You can contact me by email. My email is bob@abd.net. Very easy, bob@abd.net. You can give me a call or visit our website, which is abd.net, to learn more about UltraStaff Edge, the ATS, the CRM. We talked about the scheduling. We talked about the mobile app. We talked about the Work Now features. Get yourself in a position, if you're not there now, to be on the cutting edge of technology, and don't let technology pass you by. And just know that we as an organization here at Automated Business Designs, we are on the forefront of that. So with that said, until our next podcast coming very soon, we've got a couple of really good ones coming up, so stay tuned for that. I am Bob Petke, and until next time, thanks for joining us on the Staffing Buzz Network.